Hello and welcome to the top 10 funniest moments in cricket that are guaranteed to make you laugh. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Dropped catches aren't an unusual sight in cricket, but this dropped catch was just shocking. In an instance of outright criminal fielding, England's Joe Denley dropped an absolute sitter to grant Kane Williamson a second life during a test match against New Zealand. Poor Jofra Archer was celebrating for an entire minute before he realized what had happened. We've heard Denley has been avoiding facing Archer in the nets ever since, and rightly so. Up next, we have Andrew Strauss landing a trick shot for the ages when he smashed his own shades to smithereens in the most improbable fashion. In his hurry to return the ball to the wicket-keeper, the unfortunate shades slipped off his head and were caught by the throw before they could safely hit the ground. The incident left everyone in fits, which was nice to see as the Englishman hadn't had much to smile about during that innings. Really nice of Strauss to sacrifice his shades so his teammates could have a laugh. Well done, skipper. In 2014, the Proteas faced off against the South African rugby team, the Springboks, in a charity T20 match. Speedster Dale Steyn showed his respect to rugby legend Victor Matfield by pulling out of his run-up so he could take a quick selfie with his fellow countryman in the middle of the pitch, much to the delight of the fans. It was a heartwarming yet comical moment characteristic of the South African fast-bowling legend. Steyn must have wanted a souvenir from the match before he proceeded to bowl absolute rockets at Matfield. As glorious as Inzamam ul Haq was with the bat, he was also notorious for being involved in some of the least aesthetically pleasing dismissals in the modern game. In this instance, he unsuccessfully exhibited his hurdling skills by falling over his own stumps during a test match against England. In his attempt to sweep Monty Panesar, the big man took a tumble and awkwardly tried to jump over his stumps, clipping the bails in the process. The commentator was kind enough to refer to the wicket as the most uncompromising and ugly dismissal you will ever see.
In the most uncompromising and ugly dismissal you can ever see.
During recent times, the Pakistan team has greatly improved its reputation as a good fielding side, but that wasn't always the case. During a test match against Australia, the Green Machine showcased their fielding woes when star-paced bowler Shaheen Shah Afridi ran the length of the field only to kick the ball over the boundary rope. Shaheen might have been under the impression that he was in the Premier League tryouts. While still a man of undeniable cricketing talent, football doesn't seem to be his strongest skill. Next up, we have New Zealand's Daryl Mitchell showing us he can hit the ball anywhere, even if it's 80 meters down the ground straight into someone's pint glass. During a test match against England, Mitchell caught a napping spectator off guard when the ball landed flush into their beer. The commentators had a good chuckle about it, but we hope Daryl Mitchell bought the fan another glass. And for future games involving Mitchell, we advise fans to keep their glasses covered. Saeed Ajmal was a magician with the ball, but he had some moments on the field that were a reminder of Pakistan's somewhat comical fielding at the time. During an ODI against the West Indies, Ajmal fooled everyone into thinking he was about to pouch a long ball from Chris Gayle, only to let it fall safely between him and the confused Shoaib Malik. From the way Ajmal had set himself up, it looked like Gayle was a goner, but Ajmal had other ideas. He then proceeded to complain to Malik, but come on mate, everyone thought you had that covered. When you're batting against fast bowlers in Australia, there's always the risk of getting hit by the ball. Luckily, modern protective gear has greatly reduced the chance of severe injury. However, Joe Root learned that there are still some areas they could do with more protection when he got hit in the family jewels by Mitchell Starc, no less. By no means a pleasant occurrence, the incident even had Starc putting his hand over his mouth. Stokes and Lyons still managed to see the funny side as they exchanged a quiet chuckle at the other end of the pitch. They say life comes at you fast. Pakistan's Sohail Tanvir experienced this firsthand when Big Ben Cutting took him to the cleaners during a PSL match. A few months ago, Tanvir has decided to flip the bird at an unsuspecting Cutting during the Caribbean Premier League. Fast forward to this match, Cutting made his feelings known by smashing Tanvir for 4 sixes in 1 over. And to make matters worse for the bowler, he proceeded to flip him off as well. Tanvir would eventually end up taking Cutting's catch and would try to get back at him, but it's safe to say that Cutting had comprehensively put this little contest to bed. And finally, we have a spectator showing why the fans make the game so special. This fan made sure nothing would get in the way when he tried to catch Joss Buttler's 6 into the crowd. In his attempts to gather the ball, the dedicated fan took a tumble over the barricade and ended up dropping the catch as well. But in a great show of sportsmanship, he got up to collect the ball and soak in the applause from the admiring crowd. We sincerely hope we see this spectator in many more games to come. And there you have it, folks, our top 10 funniest cricketing moments. Be sure to like and subscribe for more compilations from the gentleman's game.